Wow, this is a minute. We haven't had a minute like this in a while. I don't know if we've ever had a minute like this.
I don't know if I don't even know what a minute is.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast. This is your weekly podcast that delivers a minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 Transformers movie. We've made it all the way to episode 70, something like 15 to go, guys. We're going to be covering the 1 hour, 9 minute, and 1 second mark, all the way to 110. This is your host, Aaron, and apparently I forgot to write an intro again. So, California Raisins, Pogs, junior high was crazy. Please introduce yourselves.
Hey, remember things? Oh, God, those things were the things.
Yes.
It was so different back then.
Also, I like you said Transformers movie in a David Bowie voice. I'm Ryan.
Bowie's in space.
Speaking of which, I'm sorry. It just reminded me of... have you guys seen the movie Moana?
Yeah, about 1 million. This is Caleb. Yeah, I've seen about 1 million.
Sorry, I
times.
stepped on your intro.
No, you're right. No, I've seen Moana so much.
Sorry, not sorry. I've developed some kind of weird obsession with it. Like, I've watched it probably 10 times in the past 2 weeks.
Because you have that kind of time.
Well, I'm doing other things after the first 2 viewings. Like, after the first 2 times I watched it, I'm doing other things while it's on. But
Like what?
I mean...
It's just background noise where you might listen to Dark Side of
Cooking.
the Moon. He listens to You're Welcome.
I did
You're
also,
welcome.
and this is shocking, probably the first time I've ever done this, I bought the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of that because Jermaine Clement is a character in the movie. He plays a crab.
He sings
A coconut
Shiny.
crab. He sings Shiny in a David Bowie style.
Yeah.
And that just made me think of that. But I don't know why that movie captures my imagination so much. I mean, it's a weird thing. Like, speaking of animation, just the hair in that movie, the way it's animated, it's awesome.
There's people that are there's animators that they're like in the hair department. They're all about getting the hair to work and move properly. It's wild.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. Anyway,
Moana's one
thumbs
of my
up,
favorites.
Moana.
Yeah, I think it's pretty well acclaimed. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're saying anything that's particularly
I'm not going to
shocking.
find anybody who's going to be dissenting on that. No.
I do think the song "You're Welcome" is maybe one of the best sort of Disney
It's pretty
songs.
good. It is a spoken sing song.
That's what you do with
But-
an actor that can't sing very well.
That's what I would do. I can't sing at all, but
you
like,
talk.
it sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I love that song too.
Well,
I think the songs in the movie are really good, which actually the composers were very aware of because they were coming off of Frozen, and so they were aware they're making like, and that was one of the genius parts of that movie of like in the story, or like the song where she's singing about. Leaving the island, like it's complicated because they originally had it where she just doesn't like being there and wants to just leave, but that's not as emotionally impactful as what they ended up doing, where she's like, I love my island, but I also love the sea, and I don't, what's wrong with me? And so it makes it more emotionally complex and interesting, I think.
I thought that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote all the music.
I
for
do not know.
Frozen.
I thought it was a writing couple.
Or not Frozen, but Moana.
No. It's not the same people who did Frozen.
Oh.
That's why I'm saying they were very aware of how popular Let It Be was and how huge it was, and so they were like, they still did it in a very Broadway song style in the same way that Let It Go
Gotcha.
was.
And I was also going to relate that back to Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, you talked about the talky, sing-songy thing The Rock did, and that's very Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yep.
Although I have not seen Hamilton.
I have not either.
I've heard it has a lot of that rap shit in it.
Oh no! Well, that took a turn.
I'm being like a grumpy old man that doesn't understand you.
In that particular song, You're Welcome.
No, in just Hamilton the musical.
Oh, yes.
Is rappy.
Yeah.
It's rap.
Pretty rappy.
And
Wrap it up and wrap it out.
Will do. Last episode recap. Unicron finished his epic transformation only to kick off his attack on Cybertron. That's all that happened.
Yep.
We're covered off. You will recall...
Covered off. We are covered off.
You will recall that Shockwave has commanded his troops to scramble. We kicked off the minute with the remainder of that action. I think we spoke last week about repeating generic Decepticons, and we see another angle on some of those here. We first saw a topward angle, and now we see sort of a facing a bunch of guys running at us.
Yep.
And Ryan, last week you complained somewhat about... them being shitty-looking characters.
I will say yes.
And I can't totally disagree with that, but some of them look kind of cool.
I will say yes. In this minute, we have the Deadpool Transformer.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're 3 seconds into this minute. I'll post a picture of that guy. But
They are interesting looking.
I will say in this one, and the guy on the right, again, I'll post this frame. It looks kind of almost like a cross between an Insecticon and a Seeker. But yeah, some of these guys do look pretty interesting.
This guy has almost Cyclonus wing shoulder.
He is
blade
purple.
things going
And
on.
there we see it, 4 seconds in, the Revenge and the Sweeps.
That's right. The Revenge, a squad of Seekers in tow, sweeps across the landscape. We kind of ride past the exhaust of the Revenge, and yep, we see the Coneheads.
Yep, Dirge, Ramjet, and Thrust.
There you go. And actually, they look really awesome.
Oh,
That little sweep by is a great effect. And so they kind of kiss the cameraman here and then fly towards
quite
Unicron.
Bravely rush into battle against this enormous thing they've never seen before.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we do some more of what we talked about last episode with this kind of close-up of Unicron's eye, then zooming out to really kind of reveal the top third of his body. They keep strafing and firing upon him.
This is a very quick cut scene, yeah.
The camera follows the action back up to his face, back up to almost the tips of his horns.
That's a lot of movement.
This does. I have paused it a moment at 109.13, and I think you might see a familiar character that perhaps doesn't belong here, but
Starscream.
a very Starscreenian sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's
image appears
well,
here.
and also it is definitely it's a definitely dead character, no matter if it's miscolored or not, because all of the non-Conehead Seekers are dead, or transformed, or dead,
Wow.
So it's just a mistake.
Yeah. So the Coneheads, as we know them, are continuing to attack, and ultimately, I hate this. This is a weird move, but okay, so they're flying at Unicron's face, and it seemed to make a decision to fly. I'm wondering, actually, this is just now hitting me. I wonder if they did not make a decision. I wonder if he's inhaling, but they didn't give any sort of other visual indicators that's what's happening.
I 100% agree. I think that's what's happening. I think he's inhaling, because if we see them, like, it looks like they are banking, but they can't avoid going
he's
into
moving
his mouth.
Like he's moving it
moving
down.
up, but there should have been a sucking in visual, because I think that is what is meant to happen, because otherwise it makes no sense. And also, here's my problem. Again, aside from that,
there's a better shot of Starscream.
Yeah, 13 seconds in. But it pisses me off, because if you're gonna unceremoniously kill off 3 main characters from the show, why do it like that and not at Autobot City? Let the Autobots at least get some kills in
one
there.
or two.
Yeah, that made me really mad.
Also, I like how emotionally
it always made me mad. Him eating them always felt weird to me. I never liked it, because I'm like, it does look like they just fly in there, but clearly I don't think they're under their own control. A graphic of him sucking them in would have been helpful.
The way that I believe, I can never remember which Conehead is which.
That's
the
Thrust.
red one is facing, makes it apparent that they're tumbling sort of into him.
Yeah.
In the same way that Arbalest did in the first moments of the movie.
So maybe just a little red mesh that comes out of his mouth.
Or even just some lines indicating inhaling.
Exactly.
Hey, we're better animators than you people.
Everybody who worked on this for a year.
So I do think it's cool how he closes his mouth and crushes them, and I know you have problems with that. When he talks, his mouth doesn't move. It doesn't really matter to me. But I think it is pretty neat looking when he closes his mouth and the smoke and explosion leaks from it. Watching this almost frame by frame in preparation for this, there was a lot of subtle details that I never noticed before. So after this moment where Ramjet, Dirge, and Thrust meet their maker, the camera then zooms back out. We see lots of firing on him from the sky, from Cybertron.
This is a very cool second you paused on at 18 seconds into the 9th minute.
Yeah, we see the Revenge approaching.
Revenge. I never caught this either.
And so the Revenge approaches, and it just zoomed right past it.
So
Unicron, reaches out. I don't know who's piloting it, by the way.
Cyclonus?
Perhaps. Maybe it's his armada.
Yeah.
That's what happened to
That's
it.
what happens
so
to
that's
him.
what happens to that ship. He smashes.
He just
it.
crushes it.
Right.
Quickly.
Yeah, it's very
They don't
you'll miss
make-
it. Exemplified by the fact I didn't know it until I just
Go ahead
saw
and push play on a normal speed. Let me see if I would have. I would have barely picked up on
it's
that.
very throwaway.
They don't make a thing out of it,
Which
for
is
sure.
I'm okay with that, but man,
guess.
watching it in the theater,
Except for the fact that I think they continue to use that ship in season 3.
I think that's
of
why
the
it has
show.
a name.
oh,
But at any rate, as far as we're concerned, that thing is donezo.
Toast.
Lots more firing from, again, the planet, from the sky. Galvatron still kind of on the sort of upper chest area, kind of close to Unicron's neck. Mm-hmm. Transforms, takes a few shots.
I love that part where he transforms into a cannon and fires at Unicron. I really like that.
The sound effects at that part are very cool.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. I always love the sound effect of his rocket firing or his cannon firing.
Mm-hmm.
So those that basically they hit Unicron's face and horn area, they do nothing, and then in some great animation, Unicron reaches over, picks him up as he's transforming, or right after he transforms, and just down the hatch.
don't.
So, and it's a long sequence of Galvatron falling down his throat tube, and I never noticed this before, but right as Unicron's kind of releasing him, you see, that's where you actually first see the Quintessonian and Junkion ship approaching Unicron.
Yeah, you can see it in the background.
And that feels very, and it feels very anime as well. Like they just kind of the way they kind of lift up out of the.
I did not notice
the horizon.
Yep.
I'd never. After
It's again.
35 years.
Yep, I watched this like 3 times, 4 times last night, a couple of times on slow mo.
I would have never have noticed that.
It's a nice touch. I like it, but you don't notice it.
I feel like it's not quite. I mean, I don't hate it. I feel like it's not quite necessary. I feel like it was like a last minute add-on. Like
it doesn't take anything away. I think it only adds.
Well,
I don't understand why he eats Galvatron.
Well,
you would think he would pull him apart, like do
crush
something
him.
to him to create less opportunity, or maybe it's just a matter of Galvatron still has the Matrix. Swallowing Galvatron, he probably has a sense that Galvatron can't do anything with it.
He's got to do something with the Matrix.
And so he just needs to store it somewhere, and so maybe he's just swallowing him for the sake of safekeeping. But he doesn't need
like
Galvatron. He can just take the Matrix.
Yeah, it seems like a weird choice to have an obviously treacherous character with the only thing that can destroy you inside your fucking body.
But he wants it, though. He's wanted it from the beginning. Or does he want to destroy it?
Depending on what script you're reading.
Yeah, I can no longer remember whether he says "bring it to me" or "destroy it."
I think on the movie he says "bring it to me."
I can't remember. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Because presumably he would know that Galvatron probably can't destroy the Matrix.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think in one of the scripts it says "destroy it." I think in the movie it says "bring it to me." But yeah, like it just struck me in this viewing as weird. Of like, why not just crush him?
The pathway down his throat feels very indirect.
His digestion clearly in robot mode works differently than in planet mode. There are no chomping jaws, there's no auger, no fluids. Mm-hmm. Apparently does not go to a stomach.
Right. The next sequence here, right around the 109:40 mark, now we see clearly a side shot of the Quintessonian ship and the Junkion ship.
Much better.
I forgot the name of the Junkion ship. Do you
Minnow.
guys remember? There we go.
What was the name of the ship that took them all to Gilliland's Island? The SS Minnow. No points this round, James.
Did you make that same joke 2 episodes ago?
Nope, but I put it on Twitter.
Okay, good.
Do you know what that's from?
Nope.
Scrooged.
Oh, man. More Bill Murray references, please.
Yeah, some of his older movies are not holding up well for me.
Like what?
Stripes.
He just is a jerk in a lot of them.
Yeah, I saw Stripes, and I do I love Bill Murray.
I do too.
Stripes bothers me. I haven't seen
Even Ghostbusters, I'm like, ooh, he's kind of just a creep.
I haven't seen Meatballs in a while.
I just put Meatballs should be coming from Netflix DVD this week for me.
I'd like to
because
see
I've
that.
watched it. I love that movie. Like I haven't seen it in probably 5 years, and so But also with any '80s movie, you're just gonna have to be like, there's gonna be just a bunch of sexual felonies in these.
Boobs. Yeah, lots of boobs.
And I watched Airport and Airport 75 recently. Oh, it's just all sexual assault, or not assault, but like harassment. That's all the pilots do to the stewardesses. It's like they play it off like it's the actresses are like, oh, laughing and it's funny. I'm like, yeah, it was written by men. That's why they're acting like that. Because in real life, that's terrible.
So are those comedies?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
They're disaster movies.
Okay, gotcha. The ones that Airplane was based on.
Yes, and like I'd never seen them before actually. Watching Airplane or Airport is what they're called. Airport and Airport 75. George Kennedy is great in those movies, by the way.
Which one is George Kennedy?
He is the.
He's from Police
Gun.
Squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, he's great in those. And the second one, Airport 75, has Charlton Heston in it. They're good, but like you have to get around a lot of sexism.
Well,
Don't we all?
No.
What? Oh,
We're white males. We don't have to at all.
yeah.
true.
Check your privilege at the
At the
studio
door.
door.
Before you come into the arc.
One thing real quick, before we get into the ships approaching here. Our gravity on Unicron. You guys certainly are more science-based and physics-based than I am, or have more interest in it. Okay, at different points, really, should Galvatron always just be floating around
Yes.
Unicron as opposed to affixed on him?
Yes.
I wonder
When throwing him down your throat, he shouldn't be falling down the throat.
True.
Well, I wondered that too. Like with the
He should just be stuck in the throat, just kind of there.
Well, presumably if Unicron does have a gravitational pull similar to, I guess, Cybertron, he would fall down there. But the other thing is, like, Galvatron can fly. So I don't know that. I mean, it doesn't hold together because of that. But
He just flies right out. He drops him down. He just
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, why didn't he just fly directly out? But maybe he's like stunned. I don't know. But yeah, that is just kind of a convenient. Like, we're just not going to address that sort of thing.
Well, yeah. If you're going to address that, you're going to address that there's no sound in space.
Yeah. But the falling makes sense.
A lot of
He would
things.
fall, like, if you were to have a hole through the Earth, theoretically, you would fall to the center of the Earth and just stay there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. And now, presumably, both Unicron and Cybertron would create large amounts of gravity based on what their size,
Unicron
mass,
would have
density.
gravity.
How would two things that
Everything has
big
gravity.
interacting with it, like they both would assume like a strong gravitational pull, or at least a reasonably strong gravitational pull? How would that affect with something that big and strong? Let's assume they've got equal gravitational pull.
Sure.
How would that affect him being able to swipe at it and crush it?
Presumably, it would be... Okay, look at it this way. You and I are the same size. We have the same gravitational pull. So we'd interact in the same way that Cybertron and Unicron would. If Unicron has free movement, celestial bodies don't have free movement. They're constrained by gravity because they can't move against it because they don't have muscles or whatever, and they can't fly. But since Unicron has movement ability in space, it would be like if I were like to just like come close to you in space, where you have
So
the
it's
same.
relative.
It's relative, yeah.
Okay. That's all I was trying to figure.
The fact it wouldn't be relative, it would still be relative, but it wouldn't matter if we were two globes in space, like two planetoids, because gravity would then take over because we have no ability to counteract gravity. But gravity is a fairly weak force.
Yeah.
Like even a magnet, this like the size of my thumbnail, can counteract gravity. It can hold something above the planet. So gravity in and of itself is not very strong.
Gravity on Earth isn't very strong?
Gravity in general,
Or
gravity is the same everywhere.
Isn't gravity what, what's the difference between Earth's gravity and, say, like a black hole?
The mass.
Well, gravity only depends on mass.
Right.
Yeah. So the bigger, like the more mass something has, the more gravity it has.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. So gravity can be strong in a...
No, It's tied strictly to mass. Like, the more massive something is, the stronger the gravity is. But gravity, even in supermassive things, is very weak.
Gravity is
like, there's a supermassive black hole at the center of most
So the ratio of size to gravity is
mass.
Mass to gravity is way out of kilter. No matter what is creating
gravity
the
is
gravity.
constant. Yes.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was the Autopod Decepticast Science Minute.
Science minute.
So yeah, Unicron's probably has more mass than normal things. Probably a significant amount of mass.
Certainly more than Ryan or I.
Yeah.
But since gravity is the same.
If he's planet-sized, then it's theoretically possible that a Transformer can walk around on him.
So
and fall down his esophagus, but there would be some problems for sure.
And let me ask this again real quick, or just try to restate this. When you say gravity is the same everywhere, like gravity, like mass emits a gram of mass will emit the same amount of gravity, we'll say, per square feet than anything. Like, is it a matter of per square feet or inches or whatever unit of measurement? But I mean, I guess like
it's not geometric.
The strength is the same, but if you're dealing with something that has more mass, there's just more gravity.
Yes,
but the general strength of it is the same.
It's a constant ratio. It's not. It doesn't increase like geometrically. It's constant. Like it's a 1-to-1 ratio. As mass goes up, gravity goes up. The same ratio.
A solid cube of lead is going to have more mass than a solid cube of sugar.
Sure.
All right.
And the gravity ratios are the same, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but that lead is going to have more gravity because its mass is denser.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But it's not going to be outstandingly.
Which is why, a tablespoon of a neutron star in Earth's gravity well would weigh like 2 tons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's a super dense.
What is the equation for mass?
I do not know.
Is density part of the equation?
Yeah, I would have. Well, I don't know. I don't know the math.
I took physics in high school, and I actually got an A in that class, but I remember none of this. Moving on.
It's almost like physics in high school is bullshit.
Or just my ability to retain information.
I do remember in high school not understanding, and I do understand now, but like the whole stupid question of like, if you're in an elevator that's falling and you jump right before it hits the bottom, will you be okay?
No.
Yeah, I get that.
And the answer is, of course, no. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, I was like, for a second, you must be not falling. But I'm like, now I understand, no, you're still falling. You're just falling minusculely slower.
Right.
So it's all relative. Mm-hmm. Just like Einstein said.
Are you looking up the equations? Any interesting equations there, Caleb?
No, he's texting.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I did, but it was not worth bringing up in the discussion.
Okay.
Excuse me. So now we're looking at the Junkion ship and the Quintessonian ship from inside the Quintessonian ship.
That acceleration is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Not only is it ridiculous, I feel like we all remember the scene where the ship drilled into the Junkion surface ever so slowly and tenderly. And if you'll recall, I mean, it was going in vertically. We just saw this ship flying at Unicron horizontally. They should not be seeing that. They should be seeing whatever space is underneath them.
We're at 43 seconds in, and we're watching the Autobots and the Quintessonian ship with Unicron and Cybertron. The way I frame it is, literally it's windows, but I kind of look at it more of like the Star Trek monitor, where they can bring up different views.
Yeah.
That's how I cognitively reframe it.
I'll go with that. Either way, I do like the image of them approaching Unicron and seeing
I feel like
Unicron
they approach
in its massiveness, hugging Cybertron.
Yeah. I feel like their approach is distractingly fast. Like, they're coming in so hot in that view that it distracted me. Maybe it didn't as a kid, but it's like they're going to crash in like 3 seconds.
Possibly. Well, it seems like they are getting close pretty quickly because we only really have time for Springer to just kind of say, "I don't believe it," and Hot Rod asks Cup if he's ever seen anything like this again, and
nope, never seen anything like this before.
Which finally they gotta.
It pays off.
I like how they finally.
I actually like that too. I like that callback.
Daniel is selfishly
I don't know about
only concerned about his needs, and he inquires about the whereabouts of Moonbase 2 and his father.
Well, first of all, he's a child. Children are inherently selfish. Like, that's how their worldview is.
Get rid of him.
No, you've turned around pretty quickly.
Hot Rod says,
From Daniel being great on Junkion, now you're like, throw him away.
I didn't know that. I wouldn't say he was great. I would say it was surprising and an enjoyable moment.
He was.
That doesn't mean I love him.
He helped a lot.
And but Hot Rod says that's what we're
Real
gonna find
fair
out.
weather friend of this guy. I'm sorry. Well, go ahead.
But to your point earlier about speed, they don't have time to talk much, and they're immediately engaged. As the minute closes out, we hear, first of all, the opening symphonic elements of Dare, my favorite Stan Bush song on the
I actually like. What's the other one? It is Dare. Never mind. Dare is the one I prefer. Yes, that's my favorite one.
Unicron opens his mouth and unleashes a bright, sort of greenish flame. And we really close this out right as that flame starts to engulf this. Actually, the Junkion ship. Right at the minute it's hitting the Junkion ship, though.
Yeah. And I will say, like, this breath to me felt like a cold beam.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
Well, it looks blue to me.
Yeah.
I guess it's greener.
Just a
You've
random
gone ahead.
plasma.
Way ahead.
This is a change of subject. I think Hot Rod handles Daniel's concern very well. As a father, I will say that.
Yeah, I
says
agree.
He doesn't give him a bunch of bullshit, and he doesn't also elevate the kid's level of anxiety.
He's a leader now.
He says we're going to find out. Gives him some kind of hope, but at the same time, keeps him on task. So,
Because I'm a terrible father figure, I'd be like, probably dead.
yeah, or as an example of what you just said, like stop worrying about that. unimportant
selfish
thing.
little shit.
Yeah.
How could you care about your father?
Make him feel guilt. Shame him.
Yeah.
Shame him at that moment.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I don't have time for that right now.
One other little detail, I do like Daniel, the animation. I just really noticed the detail
Stars.
on it. Yeah, whenever
that's
Daniel's speaking, you can kind of see the reflection of the stars in
That's
his helmet.
really cool.
And that is a nice touch.
Yeah, it was.
And I also think that whatever it is, plasma or freeze beam, I think it looks awesome.
It does look great. I think I can't remember.
Is that him just like burping?
I felt like the sound effect on it wasn't very good. I can't remember if we can turn on the sound.
It'd be better if it was like.
It definitely would not be.
All of a sudden, this movie just gets really slapsticky.
Like, yeah.
I guess it's okay.
It does seem a little less impactful than other
should be like
projectiles.
it
that
should be
we've
like
seen.
It just
like
makes me think of.
Or should be him going.
You
like
made
that.
a lot of gross noises in this episode.
One other heroic thing about Hot Rod that I like about this scene is that after he says that's what we're going to find out, he just like engages. We're going in.
He goes balls out.
He
Yes,
goes,
he does.
which is not a perverted term.
It's not.
not.
Look it up, everybody. Go and
Stay
say
off
it
my
to
case, lady who sits next to me in my cubicle at work.
Debbie. I don't want to hear your shit. I see your fireman calendar. That's sexual harassment. Look at those oiled gentlemen.
I bet you nobody could really get away with having a fireman calendar in their office.
I've never had.
I don't
anybody
know.
get-
I don't know.
I've never had one.
unclear. But listeners, do you know?
Yeah.
Have you been fired for a hunky fireman calendar?
Have you seen a hunky fireman calendar in your office?
How have you seen a hunky fireman calendar since 1999?
It's true. I'm basing this on very outdated information.
But it was a trope of the 80s.
Have you
and
ever worked?
Absolutely.
Have you ever worked with any hunky firemen?
Are you a hunky
Are
fireman?
you a hunky fireman?
Send us a DM.
Yeah, we want to know about
Autopod
this.
Decast.
You know what we should do is make a hunky Apod Decast calendar
Ooh,
I
very
like
nice.
it. I like that a lot.
with us in boudoir shots.
There's 3 of us, so we each get 4 spots on the calendar.
I was gonna say we could add our friends though as well. You could have like Skeeter. You could have Mike
Serge
Cyber,
Bamba is
Serge
on
Bamba.
there. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike.
Robinus,
Mike
we're
Cyber,
looking at you,
want-
buddy.
You
Yeah.
want to get in on this action?
Get out the oil.
Yeah. Send us your pictures. Oh boy, we're opening up a can of worms on this one. Oh boy.
Everybody, send us all your snapshots.
I hope there's a lot of like nudity, but with a bot just positioned.
Let's
just
not
Oh, no.
right over the touchy
Unicron
spots.
just hugging around the waist.
Oh, this is great.
An
Guys.
Autopod Decast calendar.
Do you think we have a single female listener?
Yeah,
At
we
one
do.
point, we did.
We do.
Yeah, like 4
They're just not-
episodes in.
They're just not. I mean, I think we do. They just don't. They're not talking. Hey, Rock. Hey, Rock. That Autopod Decast calendar's got women talking.
They're throwing up.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to see 3 40-year-old men who kind of work out
Yeah.
in tiny clothes?
I didn't work out last week at all, so I'm ready.
I helped you move.
That's true. I
considered
moved
that my workout
yesterday. My upper back is sore. I felt like I did something.
Yeah. Okay.
I run.
We've got our first item that's going up on the APDC store.
That's right.
Let's get our cameras ready.
Sure we are.
We're crowdsourcing some of the creative. So again, all the people we mentioned and more, please.
We expect to make
photos.
upwards of $7.
All right. So where were we?
I don't know. Where are we? Oh, I think we're at the end of the minute.
We're at the end of the minute. The flames have hit the Junkion ship, or crazy frost wind,
Yes.
whatever.
Everybody,
it is.
chill.
So
References.
that brings us to
Deviations.
this is Aaron speaking, and I typically go first in this little
No, wait.
endeavor.
This is Aaron speaking.
No, this is.
No, I'm clearly the real Aaron.
I'm the real Aaron. Shoot him, not me.
I'm the real Aaron.
Will the real Aaron please stand up?
Is that what you were looking for?
Yep.
And I tend to go first because my version of the script is a little closer in to what we see on screen, a much later version, very Dilly influenced. And Ryan's got the pure, uncut Ron Friedman from way early.
Uncircumcised
It's
Friedman.
totally flaccid, but the head is covered in
And
lots
we're
of details that
slapping
we
it
never
around.
saw on screen. And
There's a little holdover from episode 69.
shout out to all my foreskin brothers out there.
Where my foreskins at?
So
I wish you listeners could see Caleb's face right now.
what if they showed Unicron's dick, like in the same way that they showed?
Well, they do in my fanfiction.
Mr. Okay, cool. We'll include that on our
Absolutely.
commercialized version of the Friedman.
That'll be up
the Friedman script. Illustrated.
Strip.
It's going to be a
Comic book.
graphic novel sponsored by IDW. Well, not sponsored. I mean, they own the rights. Published by
Distributed,
IDW.
yeah.
So, anyway, my script refers to the swarms of fighters as the, quote, buzzing of bees. So, I feel like that kind of gives
You're like
you
the
a
buzzing
more
of
scale
flies
reference.
to him.
There is a part here where it speaks of a massive gun emplacement is being put into place to battle Unicron from the Cybertronian surface, but Unicron destroys it like immediately, grabs it, plucks it up out of the ground, crushes it. Unicron angles his face so that as many lasers and rockets or whatever kind of projectile or explosive fire goes into his mouth. And Galvatron says at this point, "Stop feeding him, you fools!"
Oh.
So that, as far as I've seen, is the only reference in this script to the ideas that are portrayed in Ryan's version of the script around just him sucking up whatever explosive energy around
Because I
him
guess
comes.
it ties back to him eating planets.
Sure.
Yeah, but in this case,
sure.
it's like firepower of like rockets, explosions.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah,
Gotcha.
it's true.
So that's really the only differences in mine.
Right.
Okay, so if we remember, like this ends in basically the same place as the previous minute where Unicron slams his hand down, and we have another angle on Ingestor's hand as he pulls an electrical mast up through the roof of Shockwave's laboratory, like pulling up a carrot. And with it comes sparking, electronically pulsing generators, power stations, floors of laboratory, and Shockwave, who is pinned by a finger to a wildly sparking section of the generator. And Shockwave screams, "Aye!" And Ingestor gleefully works his enormous mouth, bringing Shockwave and the electrical generator carrot to his mouth, his teeth moving as he makes gluttonous noises.
And he goes, "Yeah, what's up, Doc?"
Exactly. Shockwave says, "Fight, Decepticons, or all is lost." And then Ingestor shoves the carrot and Shockwave in and starts chewing wolfishly, exhaling in a contented sigh. And the other Decepticons, in kind of the same way, Aaron, having like a gun emplacement, and then from this point, it is pretty much the same until we get to. This is where Cup and Hot Rod come into the battle. Okay, so then we have an angle as Ingestor bends down and bites a hunk out of Cybertron. Thundercracker, Skywarp, and their weapons in more buildings, which in this one, Thundercracker and Skywarp are still alive, in that hunk, and he roars and shouts. And then basically, again, like I said, everything's the same. And then we see Hot Rod and Cup, and this interaction's pretty much the same, where he says, doesn't this remind you of something? Not a thing in the eternal universe, lad. Not one energon-crunching thing. I knew there had to be a first time. And then he says, battle stations! And then as the hatches open, the Dinobots start flying out along with the Junkions in space gear. The Junkions are transformed tricycles, which are like space sleds and rocket belts.
Tricycles?
I guess holding on to the Road Warrior thing, where in the previous, a couple episodes ago, they were driving like the battle trikes.
I'm picturing them kind of like little chariots, but without horses attached to them.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Some might say that's what a tricycle is.
Hot Rod says, we're going on board that planet-munching monster and see what makes him tick. And Ingestor says, huh? Who dares it? Wait.
Who dares interrupt Ingestor's repast?
Repast means meal.
Oh, wow.
Or short, like, little snack.
Say,
And that's what we're in that minute.
So in this version, really, the release of the warriors happens right off the bat.
Yeah,
A lot sooner than...
I guess I can't remember if they're in two ships at this point or just one, because it sounds like one, but maybe they still have the. Oh wait, they're flying Junkion, which I don't know why they wouldn't fly the. I don't remember why they wouldn't fly the Quintessence ship, but yeah, they're flying the planet Junkion.
There is no Quintessence ship in your version of the script.
No, because that's how Hot Rod and Cup got to Junkion.
maybe that's
Right, but I mean, there's
let-
no in this scene.
Yes, no, in this scene, basically, yeah, I guess that's true. They don't use the Quintessence ship again. They just use Junkion because the whole planet's a ship.
So I guess that would make sense. Why would you just fly off in your smaller ship?
I mean, I guess
Right, exactly, yeah.
But
So
that means they're all in one vessel, which is it'll be interesting to see how that translates into Hot Rod and select other people getting tossed inside of Unicron, if that is indeed what
Right,
happens.
and I purposefully am not reading ahead, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
I wish you could see this, listeners. He's literally teetering.
Is this the sound of Unicron eating the planet?
Cookie, me love cookie. Oatmeal cookie, it means whole lot to me. Cookie. Chocolate chip cookie.
Giving Ryan a lot of time for a retort
Are
here.
you proud of yourself? Are you proud of what you did?
Yes.
Okay, great. That was good.
Yeah,
That was sarcastic.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, gentlemen, it's about time for the episode that we get a visit from our old friend. We can.
I'm the ghost of the iconic moment.
You know. Oh shit.
Ghost been drinking.
Ghost have been
Hold on a
drinking.
second.
The ghost have been drinking is here.
Hello.
So
I've been down the streets at Hooligans.
so that's.
You sure it wasn't Bula?
Fuck you.
What are you celebrating? Or are you? What's the deal here?
What's sure? I'm a free man.
Oh, no.
Free ghost now.
I mean, I guess you basically
out on
always
the
have.
prowl.
Okay.
On the
all right.
prowl. So you're single and you were looking for.
And I got fired from Chico.
Oh no.
I'm a free spirit.
Okay, so you're not just free from a relationship; you're free
Ah,
from the
Do
economic
whatever I
stability.
want.
All right.
Oh my god.
What happened? What caused the firing? Was it
They fired me because I had I had a sexy firefighter's calendar on my desk.
Oh, shit.
You had a desk, first of all?
It wasn't,
Chico's.
it wasn't my desk.
Okay, well, that may have been played a part.
But here I am.
What month
And
was
you-
it turned to whenever you got to... Well, I'm assuming you were masturbating.
Not Boone.
Lie.
Shut up, Brian. I'll fight you. I'll fight you.
What were you doing with the calendar? It wasn't your desk, but yet it was on
It was a
desk.
gift to my boss.
Okay.
She's so
you
pretty.
bought
Oh, well,
your
feels
boss
like...
a fireman calendar. Okay.
So you're trying to date your boss.
I'm trying to date my boss.
I don't think that's wise.
trying or are you still trying?
No.
Well, I guess I can still do that if I want now. No. What are
Yeah, there's no conflict of interest
No
anymore.
conflict of interest there.
Well,
I'm gonna just put my applications into some other places.
oh, okay.
Like where?
Dress Barn,
How about Joanne Fabrics?
Joann's Fabrics. I need a new sheet.
Well, there
Yeah, I
you
was
go.
gonna say this one's looking a little
Maybe
dirty.
it'll be partisan,
I
maybe.
threw up on it earlier.
Oh,
Oh no.
I thought I saw some chicken wings.
Oh God! Oh, you're gonna have to clean that up.
Wipe it up with my sheet.
Oh God! It's like getting all soaked in there. Okay, well, I'm sorry to
Take a
hear.
little lay down.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear about you losing your job.
And
but-
he
okay.
has fallen asleep.
All right.
I didn't know ghosts could sleep.
I thought they were in the midst of an eternal sleep.
Well, he's gone to his eternal reward.
Oh, it's got one of those cartoonish
Those feathers?
snoring.
See those feathers that fly up above somebody's
I
face
didn't
while they
know he
sleep?
was a Looney Tunes character.
He's voiced by Mel Blanc.
Oh, I see. Oh, man, who is also a ghost. So I mean, that could be a character for us here.
all right.
Now that
That was
that's
great.
and he just sort of dematerialized
Yeah.
right before our very
You
eyes
smell,
just now.
you smell the pine? Actually, it smells like vomit and chicken wings.
And pine.
Yeah, with a hint of pine.
So, guys, iconic moment. What did you feel out of it? Lots going on here.
This is Ryan. This one was a little hard for an iconic moment. I just loved this whole sequence. I mean, the Decepticon resistance, actually, I think, like with the Coneheads Seekers, like they're just jumping directly into the action, I think was my favorite part. And that animated scene of like all those quick cuts was so good.
I
Caleb?
agree.
Cups line.
Never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, that's good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
It's a good
here.
minute.
I was going to say that it's not my favorite minute, but one that just stuck with me as a kid watching it was the devouring of Galvatron, like getting plucked
Yep.
off of his chest
Definitely.
and chucked
Definitely.
down.
True.
So much going on. Guys.
Yeah, it's all-
So
So
many
It's
things.
about to get even crazier.
Everything's coming to a head, man.
Next time on the Autopod Decepticast.
Well, there's going to be a lot more than mud in Unicron's eye.
No.
It's like a double twist of a callback.
Twist. Spin.
Gotcha.
All right, everybody. So listen to the show. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and TuneIn. There's always the social media presence. Oh, God, he's
back.
rematerialized.
He rematerialized.
Jesus.
To,
Where
like,
am I?
You're at the ARC, the recording studio of the Autopod
I
Decepticast.
don't remember anything.
No.
well, that's probably for the
What's that
best.
for?
Yeah. I mean, you threw up all over my floor and then half-ass cleaned it up. with
Still
your
a lot
sheets.
of greasy shit on that
Oh,
floor.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, since you're here, you might as well finish.
Did you have something else you wanted to contribute?
To what?
We were just
All right.
closing out the episode. Okay, all right.
Get the fuck out.
At Autopod Decepticast, everybody. And, of course, there's our web presence at autopoddecepticast.com. Maybe we'll put a link to Houlihan's, a great place to drink and meet your friends up for sad nights out.
Can I crash over your phone?
Oh, Jesus Christ, one of these guys.
Really? Oh, one of these hangers on. Yeah, I'll probably put some stuff about Moana on the website and
Just what people came for.
exactly. This is what whatever obsesses me because I'm in control of the web presence. Kinda.
iTunes users, rate, subscribe.
Yes,
we'll talk
please.
to you later.
Use your bathroom.
Bye.
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 Yeah, go. God.
Thanks for making this great episode have one of the worst endings ever.
You say that every time?
Bye!
Cybertron!
I don't even know, dude.
No,
I'll take your word for
I'll
it.
send you a link. Here, what do you guys think of this new beast here?
It's good.
A Masterpiece Ravage, Ocular Max,
Now, does the Masterpiece Soundwave...
Jaguar is
Does,
the name
will
of
he
it.
fit? Will
It's
he
on point.
fit? Will he fit in the Masterpiece Soundwave?
Of course not. It turns into a normal-sized cassette,
Oh,
That's weird.
can you
just
put,
like those guys, those
can you-
big guys there do.
Can you put it in a cassette player?
You could, but
Nothing will happen.
Well,
you may not be able to close it. I don't know. Check this out. It's broken already.
love it.
There's a story behind this that you might find amusing.
Oh, good.
Which is, so I got home yesterday from work, and this was down here in my office. I opened it up, and I'm like, oh, awesome. And I had to take a poop, and these things typically aren't too tough to transform. So I take it into the bathroom with me, and the poop, I should add, is pretty... I wouldn't say it's totally viscous, but it's like kind of a mousse consistency.
Soft,
It's definitely
like
not solid, but
soft
it's not.
serve?
It's not total diarrhea.
Was it like-
soft serve?
Like you worked at Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
kind of tell us, is it like a concrete
warm
consistency?
soft serve?
Soft serve.
Except warm soft serve is
Would be
basically
liquid.
liquid, but you know what So anyway, I'm on the toilet, I'm transforming it, and it's about this time
Transforming that toilet into a mess.
so as I'm turning it in,
Oh, no,
this
I know
part
this is
breaks
going.
off,
It falls in.
bounces off the lid of the toilet and into
Oh, see, I'm not touching that. I'm not
into
touching
the,
that toilet.
I'm sure it's been sterilized.
I know, but the fact of the matter is, it's been in his shit.
I'm gonna smell
and he's
it.
like, he's playing with it right. I'll just,
We have
This was yesterday, and so I'm in there, and I'm like, oh no, and I know, and I've already taken photos and sent it off to try and get a replacement part.
Did you take a picture of it in the
I
shit?
I should.
Look what happened.
This is where it
But I'm
belongs.
so I lift myself up, pants still around ankles, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I kind of turn away, I hold my breath, and I'm sifting through it.
Oh God!
Probably 3 minutes. Until
What?
Well, here's the deal. When it hit the bottom, it bounced
into the
hole, not the big hole where the poop goes,
Oh,
but
shit.
the hole that it's a little like, you know, you've got the hole where everything goes when you flush, but then there's a smaller
Yeah.
hole that's I guess creates the pressure, the jet.
jet.
So it's on the other side of the lip, and so I find it, and I'm having trouble fishing it out, and I have both hands in there, and I finally get it out, and then I'm like, well, both my hands are shitty now. So I go to the sink and use my elbows to lift and turn on the sink, and use my elbow to pump some soap all up in my hands, and
Good
I
Lord.
clean everything off, and
You know, there are food grade plastic gloves up in your pantry.
well, that's what Melody said when I told her this story.
Good God.
And I didn't use those. I think I was afraid that somehow, I just didn't. I wanted to get. I didn't know if it might float over into the
Sure.
other hole. I was just,
We have an inordinate number of shit stories on this that we get together.
I have to say, I
Everybody
commend
poops.
you for your dedication in sifting around in there to find it, because
I didn't gag once, which is unusual for me. I have a very low tolerance for that kind of thing.
maybe it was better because it was your. Sorry, my foot's caught. Maybe it was better because it was your own shit. I mean, if it was someone else's,
Yeah, I definitely would have had a more.
Oh, that's 100%
Rough time with it.
grosser. And feces doesn't really bother me, but the idea of just it's someone else's shit.
Blow cells, where we sell good.